So it's kind of funny getting up in the morning, you get all these videos popping up saying so and so mentioned you. And, I don't, typically it's predictable what they're going to say, so I don't even bother watching them, right? Just people simping for Ryan Upchurch and grossly exaggerating things, pulling things out of context, claiming I'm running around bullying people when I don't go to anybody else's page. I don't go to anybody else's live stream. So the only way anybody could have any contact with me would be to come to my podcast. And so, it's funny to say the least. And, once again, the lies and the gross exaggerations, there's been one person that I doxed, and that's because they doxed me and were doxing other people. And when I doxed them, they stopped. Okay, so that was that. And then there's one other person who made 3 videos back to back saying he could prove that I was a 3-time registered sex offender. One of the most heinous things you could say about somebody. And you got to listen to Crack Squad try to turn him into a victim when I threaten to do the same thing back to him, only just do it where he lives instead of on the internet. But anyway, getting to the point here, you look at all these, but then you start seeing this dude. Okay, now check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that's all the further, no, it's loading more, 12. There's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, that's the point's made. There's 20, 21, 22, 22. If you there's the point. You got one person making 23 videos, and I have yet to respond to this fool. And and there's another one here that's pretty close second. But anyway, it's just kind of funny to listen to Crack Squad try to invent victims when there aren't no victims. The truth is, you little pricks, okay, you little pricks out here white knighting for Ryan Upchurch, because that's what you're doing. Make no mistake. Okay, I haven't done anything to any of you little twerps. Okay, I haven't done anything to any of you little twerps. I haven't went and bothered anybody, you little twerps. I made videos on my own channel expressing my own opinion and responding to people who did shitty stuff to me, like make videos saying that I was a convicted sex offender and was arrested for bad checks and all this, which was all of it bullshit, right? So what's a fair response to that, you little twerps? So I don't want to hear it. Nobody's been bullied. It's a big, huge, exaggerated lie. Period. I think it's laughable that you guys can sit there and talk shit, okay, and can't one of you say that I ever came and done anything to you? None of you. And Uncle Will made that video knowing there'd be repercussions for it. So if I wanna start a rumor about him, then I'll start a rumor about him since he did it to me. Only instead of going on the internet and doing it, I'll do it where he lives. I think it's a fair response. You guys can call it whatever you want, and whatever. And you got Power Stroke living in a fantasy world that he owned me, and all he did was scream and yell. He's mad at the wrong person. I'm not the person that's going to hold him accountable. But he is going to be held accountable, him and the other 3. You can bet your ass on that. So, yeah. So, hey, I thought I'd do another response to Triple T. Uh, yeah, that's one of the guys I've got to know doing this. That I got some respect for. And so let's take a look.
Which is what got him signed by Warner, because it had 27 million views, and that song went golden. The main person in that video, who came through the door with his ex-girlfriend, was arrested this July for raping a 13-year-old girl.
Right. Okay. So that, and I just wanted to play that part right there, just to make a point. Triple T, and this is one of the reasons why I even mentioned your live about that. And I hope it comes from a place of respect, not I'm not like dogging you. It shocks me, out of all the people you would subscribe to a guilt by association game, because you know what a guilt by association game is, right? It's, I don't have anything bad enough to say about this person, so I'm gonna go find someone they might be associated with to say something bad about, right? I mean, it's a fucking Hail Mary, a desperate attempt at smearing someone's character. And I don't want to say something to you, dude, too. Just, and I agree with what you said about, Ryan being way overreactive and it making him look small. It hurts him a lot worse than I think a lot of people are willing to admit, because this whole shtick of his, like being some super nice guy, is just over. He can't pull that card no more. Not after what he done to those women. Not after what he done dragging those grieving parents, and refuses to even fucking admit he did it, let alone walk any of it back. And then this, literally try to destroy this young man's career. I mean, this won't, right? At the end of the day, Warner Brothers does not care what some YouTuber thinks. They just don't. And it's not going to hurt this young man's career one iota what this handful of crack squatters out here got to say. None of them would have ever bought one of his records anyway, right? So it's going to have no effect at all on his career. But it's, what a slimy thing to try to do. Let's say, even if what Upchurch is saying is 100% legit, right? What a shitty thing to do to try to destroy a young man's career over a personal beef. Because we're not talking about saying something that might upset somebody or saying something that might hurt somebody's feelings. We're talking about trying to affect a young man's singing career and a record deal, which is a big fucking deal, right? Trying to get the kid canceled. When a month ago he was on Holler Boy's label, and oh boy, right now, the reason why I showed that short clip right there of yours is this, and you said it out loud, and then I'm gonna share it. So it's this, right? This article, this young man being arrested, that was in a video. It was in the video, County Line. Yeah, July 11th. That's when he was arrested, and the article was printed in the paper across multiple small. You got to understand, there's like one. I think a lot of you guys don't understand that the same company owns multiple small newspapers, right? Um, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the little clips on TV or on YouTube where people make montages of multiple different news journalists repeating the exact same words, right? Well, that's because one company owns them all. Okay, so the publication side of Billboard, and then the Nashville Now publications, all those local newspapers, stuff, those are all owned by one big corporate conglomerate. So you see the same story appear across multiple platforms, right? And that was the way this was. It was not only printed in the town where this kid lives, but it was in the Ashland city paper and on Nashville news website and on Billboard's news thing where they announced Chase's uh, deal with Warner, right? And it was July 11th, and you even said it yourself that he was arrested in July. What does that tell us? That tells us that Ryan Upchurch, Mike could claim, which I do not believe, but he could claim that he didn't know that this kid in the video had been in any trouble. And until after Chase's contract was up and Chase decided to go with Warner, and then all of a sudden Upchurch knew about this. Well, it was in a damn paper in July. Don't you tell me he didn't know about it, because there's no way on God's green earth that this news article appeared in the paper there where they all live, okay, and Upchurch not know about it. And I can tell you right now, if Chase would have decided to re-up with Holler Boy, Upchurch would have never told you about this. So he cannot possibly claim any moral high ground. He kept Chase on clear up till the end of his contract, which was just a few weeks ago. And he knew about it in July, just like you said. The article came out in July. Upchurch knew about it in July. If it was really meant some moral thing to him, why didn't he say, hey, I got to cut him loose from Holler Boy Records today? So, all you little crack squatters out there white knighting for Upchurch over this bullshit of him being so petty as to try to hurt this young boy's career simply because he fulfilled his contract with Holler Boy Records and decided to go a different direction. That's just a shitty thing to try to do to somebody. And it shocked me, Triple T, that you would even consider subscribing to that level of pettiness. It's just a terrible thing to try to do somebody over a personal beef. Obviously, Chase was good enough to be on Holler Boy Records clear up until the day his contract ended. But, the second he decided to take his career a different direction, well, then all of a sudden he's not worthy. And it's slimy. I'm sorry. I find it incredibly slimy. So, and that's enough of that, right? So I didn't mean it. I wasn't trying to attack you or anything. It just shocks me that of all people that I've come to know over this, and I really do appreciate you coming on and being respectful and all that. I got respect for you, no question about it. But dude, don't buy. I get it. It's easy, but I'm just telling you, you can't. If it was that big a deal, Church would have, the minute this story broke, he would have cut him loose back in July, right? But he didn't do that. He didn't tell any of us about it. And he can't claim he didn't know after July because it was in the damn paper there. So, it's all a big joke. And I just think it's terribly low, just punching below the belt, just bullshit. And this is a part of, I honestly believe, bad decision making. Okay. And for people to assume that just because the guy can make some rhymes, that he's never going to make bad decisions, say anything stupid, do anything dumb, do anything that might hurt his career is nonsense. That's why so many entertainers have management that speaks for them, because you can so easily say or do the wrong thing and destroy your career, right? Now, he says, hey, I'm an independent, I can't be canceled. That's great, right? Fine. But not everybody wants to be a YouTuber. Chase doesn't want to be a YouTuber. He wants to be a recording artist, not a YouTuber. Ryan's happy with being a YouTuber. Chase ain't. But he's got no business attacking the kid because he wants to move on. It's just nonsense. And Crack Squad, shame on you, too. Shame on you. I mean, you guys should, all of you, every one of you guys, if you are true Upchurch fans, if you really think you really look up to him and you want to see him have a long, prosperous career, you would be with me and be saying, Ryan, this ain't a good look. Please quit doing this, instead of encouraging more of it. Because I'm telling you, over the last 3 months, Ryan has absolutely damaged his brand. And if you think he hadn't, you're out of your mind, because he has. I guarantee you there will be venues that will not allow him to play there anymore over this. There will be artists that will not work with him anymore because of this. And there will be people that would have probably shared his music, not care to share it anymore after this. So I can promise you it's not a good look. And one of the other things that really kind of bothered me yesterday, and this was the same thing I said to my son once. Okay. When you're doing drugs, your mind is clouded, and you in your mind will think of something to say, and it'll sound completely rational to you, right? But to someone sober, it sounds ridiculous. Okay. And that is what we have seen over the last 3 months. It's he literally said in an interview yesterday, right, with a couple of other people, a video I saw, I'm sure you guys probably saw it too, that, oh, what about these people saying you're on drugs? And he says, well, I'm not, but what if I am? What's the big deal? And blah, 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 blah. And it's like, dude, just wrong answer all the way around. And I'll tell you why. Because if you admitted that you were on drugs, you would easily, very easily be able to rationalize the behavior, right? I was saying that the government was involved in this cover up with this girl, and Ellen DeGeneres' girlfriend wasn't real. And this girl, her parents faked her death for GoFundMe money because I wasn't thinking clear, right? So at least you got that excuse if you're on drugs, right? That's why you did all that. But if you're going to stand here and swear to everybody that you were stone sober, then that's even more frightening to know. If you thought those things and you were of a sound, clear mind, and you literally thought the government and this girl's parents were pulling pictures off the internet and editing them and putting them back on the internet to throw you off, and that deal where Ellen DeGeneres' girlfriend goes speeding down the street. She's caught by 3 doorbell cameras. She gets stuck in a driveway. Some people help her push the car out of the driveway, and she goes tearing off again and wrecks it and gets third-degree burns all over her body. And she sits up on the gurney as they're putting her in the ambulance, screaming out in pain, and later succumb to those injuries, right? And for you to make that video saying she's not real and there's no evidence of her when she co-hosted the damn Emmys with her once, it's just unbelievable. Or there's no pictures of Kylie Rodney as a child, there's no pictures of her at the party, and there's literally dozens. Or Brian Laundrie's dad looks just like Kylie's grandpa, and Kylie's grandpa looks like this other dude. It's the father of a girl named Callie, and you did all that, dude. And if you're going to stand there and swear that you were totally sober, that is more concerning than if you said, yeah, I was a little bit fucked up, man. I did, man, I got a little off the deep end there, said some stupid stuff. No, if you're going to stand there and tell us you were stone sober and doing that, that is really a problem. Okay, and the same thing I used to tell my son, the stupid shit he used to do, like steal money from me, like steal fucking bullshit out of my shop, steal stuff, or take my fucking vehicle and not bring it back for 2 or 3 days and shit like that. And I'd say to him, well, if you're telling me you were stone sober and you did that, then we really got a problem, because at least you had an excuse if you were on drugs. And if I was, I'm telling you, I can promise you, Ryan, and I know everybody thinks you don't watch my videos, but I know you do. And I can promise you that I am the overwhelming majority of your fans, and you're not fooling us. There's no fucking way with the way your eyes looked and the panic in your eyes and the anger and the seriousness and the fucking crazy shit you were saying, you're going to convince us you were sober. It's just not possible, dude. And with that being said, yeah, Triple T, I respect you, dude. No shade, not throwing no shade there. It just shocked me that you would even subscribe to it. I thought you would see it the way I see it, or it's just a last ditch effort to try to smear this kid out of fucking spite. And it's really messed up that he would try to hurt the kid's career, knowing what Ryan knows about the business, how, your shot's tiny and you only get one, and, you got to capitalize on it at the moment. And, now we know that, Justin Adams was offered a deal and Ryan talked him out of it. And now he's got nothing. Okay. So, bullshit. Okay, guys, you guys shouldn't be supporting that kind of shit. I don't care how much you like the guy. That's wrong, man. That's really terrible of him to try to do to him. And especially over a guilt by association thing. Because at the end of the day, right, we know for certain that Ryan knew about this in July. I would argue he knew about it a lot sooner than that. But we know for sure he knew about it in July because it was printed in the paper there. And he didn't cut him loose right away. Now, did he? So, yeah, no moral high ground there. And all you twerps out there saying that calling me about bullshit. Ain't nobody got bullied by me that didn't come and write a check for it. And I'm just tired of hearing that lie. It's just a gross exaggeration of the truth. Okay. Uncle Will is going to get what he got coming, right? He deserves it. He earned it, right? He earned it. So I don't want to hear it, man. I just don't want to hear it.